a raised voice, a disrespectful look, a moment of rejection, a spark of anger, fear, or desire. And in that moment, their fate is decided. Pause. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. Power is not lost in battle. It is lost inside the mind, long before the first move is made. If your emotions control you, someone else already does. Pause. This is not motivational talk. This is not comfort. This is a warning. Weak emotional control will quietly sabotage your reputation, your relationships, your authority, and your future, while you believe you are simply being human. Pause. In this documentary, you will learn why emotional discipline is the foundation of power, why uncontrolled feelings expose you to manipulation, and how history punishes those who react instead of rule. By the end, you will never see your emotions the same way again. The core problem. Machiavelli wrote, "He who controls himself controls others." Yet modern culture teaches the opposite. It glorifies expression, emotional release, and impulsive honesty. But power does not belong to those who feel the most. It belongs to those who reveal the least. Pause. Emotion is not weakness by nature. Uncontrolled emotion is. Anger exposes intent. Fear invites dominance. Desire creates dependency. And dependency is how you are ruled. Lesson 1. Emotional leakage is invisible self-sabotage. Every time you lose emotional control, you leak information. Your face tightens. Your voice changes. Your decisions accelerate. Pause. And predators notice. Robert Greene calls this the fatal tell. The subtle emotional signal that reveals what moves you, what hurts you, and where you can be pressured. Pause. Consider a negotiation. The first person to show frustration loses leverage. The first person to rush reveals need. And the one who remains calm wins without force. Pause. Machiavelli observed that rulers who showed rage were feared briefly, then plotted against. But rulers who stayed cold were respected, unpredictable, and untouchable. Pause. Effective affirmation. I do not react. I observe. I choose. Lesson 2. Anger makes you predictable, and predictability is death. Anger feels powerful, feels honest, feels justified. Pause. But anger narrows perception. Carl Jung warned that unintegrated emotions hijack the conscious mind. When anger rises, strategy disappears. Pause. History is ruthless here. Napoleon lost Russia not due to lack of intelligence, but emotional impatience. He rushed. He underestimated resistance. He reacted to pride. Pause. Machiavelli warned, hatred is more dangerous than fear. Why? Because anger invites retaliation, creates enemies who wait patiently. Pause. Calm enemy is dangerous. An angry one is manageable. Pause. Effective affirmation. My calm unsettles those who expect my rage. Lesson 3. People use your emotions against you, even if they smile. Manipulation rarely looks like attack. It looks like familiarity. Pause. A subtle insult. A calculated delay. A compliment followed by withdrawal. Pause. These are emotional triggers, tests. And if you react, you fail. Pause. Robert Greene explains this as emotional hooks. Once someone knows what provokes you, they can pull you at will. Pause. Think of social media outrage, office politics, romantic power shifts. The loudest reactions receive the least respect. Pause. Machiavelli advised princes to remain unreadable, not because they lacked feeling, but because feeling exposed is power surrendered. Pause. Effective affirmation. No one earns access to my emotional core. Lesson 4. Weak emotional control destroys authority silently. Authority is not asserted. It is felt. Pause. People instinctively trust those who appear grounded, composed, and unshaken. The moment you over-explain, over-defend, or emotionally justify yourself, your authority erodes. Pause. Machiavelli observed that leaders who begged for understanding were soon replaced. Why? Because emotional volatility signals instability. Pause. Calm is competence. Silence is confidence. Restraint is dominance. Pause. Effective affirmation. My restraint commands respect without effort. Lesson 5. Emotional indulgence creates dependence. Desire is emotional. The more desperately you want approval, love, validation, or recognition, the more control others gain. Pause. Machiavelli warned rulers against emotional dependency, especially in alliances. Those who needed affection were betrayed first. Pause. In modern life, this shows up as people-pleasing, overgiving, and fear of conflict. You think you are being kind. You are actually signaling vulnerability. Pause. Power respects boundaries, not emotional availability. Pause. Effective affirmation. I give deliberately, not emotionally. Transition. Pause. At this point, you may feel uneasy. Good. That discomfort is awareness waking up. In the next part, we will expose how emotional weakness is trained into you, how to dismantle it, and how disciplined emotional control transforms you into someone others cannot manipulate, rush, or break. Pause, because once you master your emotions, you no longer need to control others. They adjust themselves. Part 2. How emotional weakness is taught, exploited, and used against you. Pause. Emotional weakness is not accidental. It is trained, reinforced, and rewarded from childhood. Pause. You are taught to explain yourself, to express everything, to apologize quickly, to seek approval for how you feel. Pause. And while this may create harmony, quietly destroys power. Lesson 6. Society rewards emotional exposure and punishes control. Modern culture confuses emotional openness with authenticity. But authenticity without discipline is liability. Pause. Machiavelli understood that rulers who revealed too much were no longer feared or respected. Once people understand your emotional limits, they test them. Pause. Carl Jung wrote, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." Emotional control is not repression. It is awareness without surrender. Pause. Those who cry publicly are comforted briefly. Those who remain composed are trusted permanently. Pause. Effective affirmation. I choose mastery over emotional display. Lesson 7. Emotional reactions are a form of public confession. Every reaction tells a story. Pause. When you defend aggressively, you admit insecurity. When you explain excessively, you admit doubt. When you explode, you admit loss of control. Pause. Machiavelli warned against self-revelation. A prudent ruler should not keep faith when it is to his disadvantage. Emotionally, this means you owe no one immediate reactions. Pause. Silence forces others to reveal themselves. The calm person becomes the mirror. The emotional person becomes the subject. Pause. Effective affirmation. My silence keeps my power intact. Lesson 8. Emotional control is what separates leaders from followers. Followers react. Leaders respond. Pause. The difference is time. A pause between stimulus and response is where power lives. Pause. Viktor Frankl said, "Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power." Machiavelli ruled by this principle centuries earlier. Pause. When chaos erupted, rulers who panicked lost kingdoms. Those who slowed down consolidated power. Pause. In meetings, the calm voice sets direction. In crisis, the still presence becomes authority. Pause. Effective affirmation. I slow down. I decide. I dominate outcomes. Lesson 9. People provoke you to lower you. Provocation is strategy. Pause. Insults. Dismissive behavior. Calculated disrespect. Pause. These are not accidents. They are tests designed to pull you into emotional exposure. Pause. Once you react emotionally, the hierarchy flips. You are now reacting to them. Pause. Machiavelli advised ignoring insults unless power demanded response. Why? Because emotional reaction grants significance. Pause. The unbothered person holds the upper position. Pause. Effective affirmation. I deny others the satisfaction of my reaction. Lesson 10. Emotional control makes you unreadable. And unreadable people are dangerous. What people cannot read, they fear. Pause. Uncertainty forces caution. When no one knows what angers you, excites you, or wounds you, they hesitate. Pause. Robert Greene calls this strategic opacity. Reveal intentions slowly. Reveal emotions selectively. Reveal nothing under pressure. Pause. Machiavelli advised princes to appear merciful, faithful, humane, but never reveal the machinery beneath. Pause. Your emotional discipline becomes your armor. Pause. Effective affirmation. My emotional restraint makes me unpredictable. Transition. Pause. At this stage, something important should be clear. Emotional control is not coldness. It is freedom. Freedom from manipulation. Freedom from impulse. Freedom from regret. Pause. In the next part, we will break down how to build emotional control, how to weaponize calm, and how disciplined emotion transforms your presence so deeply that people feel it before you speak. Pause. This is where transformation begins. Pause. Emotional control is not a trait. It is a discipline. Pause. And like all disciplines, it is built deliberately, painfully, and privately. Machiavelli did not trust talent. He trusted systems. Pause. This is where most people fail. They wait to feel disciplined. Power does not wait. Lesson 11. The pause is your greatest weapon. Every emotion demands immediacy. Anger wants expression. Fear wants escape. Desire wants gratification. Pause. Power delays. Pause. Machiavelli understood this intuitively. Those who moved too fast exposed themselves. Those who waited forced others to overextend. Pause. The pause interrupts emotional momentum. 3 seconds of silence can reverse an entire situation. Pause. In arguments, pause. In negotiations, pause. In provocation, pause. Pause. Silence unsettles emotional opponents. They begin to talk. They begin to reveal. Pause. Effective affirmation. I pause. I regain control. I choose my move. Lesson 12. Observe emotions as signals, not commands. Most people believe emotions must be obeyed. They are wrong. Pause. Emotions are data. Anger signals threat. Fear signals uncertainty. Desire signals opportunity. Pause. But data does not dictate action. Interpretation does. Pause. Carl Jung believed individuation required observing emotions without identifying with them. You are not angry. You are experiencing anger. Pause. This distance creates control. Once you separate identity from emotion, reaction weakens. Pause. Machiavelli ruled not by suppressing feeling, but by refusing to be ruled by it. Pause. Effective affirmation. My emotions inform me. They do not control me. Lesson 13. Emotional control is built in private moments. You do not train emotional discipline during crisis. You train it before crisis. Pause. Cold exposure. Physical training. Delayed gratification. Pause. These are not fitness trends, they are psychological conditioning. Pause. When you deny impulse voluntarily, you weaken emotional dominance. The mind learns obedience. Pause. Machiavelli admired rulers who endured hardship quietly. Comfort breeds emotional fragility. Discomfort breeds command. Pause. Effective affirmation. I condition my mind before it is tested. Lesson 14. Control your expression, not your experience. Repression leaks. Control does not. Pause. You are allowed to feel everything privately, but public emotional expression is strategic territory. Pause. Machiavelli warned against appearing unstable. Emotion expressed without intention becomes ammunition. Pause. This does not mean emotional emptiness. It means selective revelation. Show warmth when it builds alliances. Show firmness when it establishes boundaries. Show nothing when uncertainty benefits you. Pause. Effective affirmation. I choose what the world sees. Lesson 15. Calm presence changes how people treat you. People test emotional limits instinctively. They push to see where resistance breaks. Pause. When you remain calm, tests stop. Because there is nothing to exploit. Pause. Your presence becomes grounding. Others slow down around you. Pause. Machiavelli observed that calm rulers attracted loyalty not through affection, but through stability. People follow what feels solid. Pause. Effective affirmation. My calm reshapes the room. Lesson 16. Emotional control turns pain into strategy. Pain is inevitable. Reaction is optional. Pause. Most people waste pain by expressing it. Powerful people convert it. Pause. Setbacks become data. Insults become intelligence. Loss becomes recalibration. Pause. Machiavelli learned from exile more than from power. Those who endure quietly return stronger. Pause. Emotional discipline turns suffering into advantage. Pause. Effective affirmation. I transform pain into clarity. Transition. Pause. By now, something fundamental should be shifting. You are not becoming colder. You are becoming harder to control. Pause. In the final part, we will expose the ultimate outcome of emotional mastery, how it reshapes your identity, your influence, and how others sense power before you speak. Pause. This is where everything comes together. The final transformation and the cost of ignoring this truth. At the highest level of power, nothing is said. Nothing needs to be. Those who master emotional control no longer chase dominance. Dominance follows them. This is the quiet transformation Machiavelli warned about and promised. Lesson 17. Emotional mastery rewires your identity. When emotions stop ruling you, something profound happens. You stop needing validation. You stop needing reaction. You stop needing to be understood. Your identity shifts from expressive to strategic. Carl Jung believed the integrated individual no longer projected emotions outward. They carried gravity. People sense this. They speak carefully. They hesitate before challenging. They adjust unconsciously. This is not intimidation. It is psychological presence. Effective affirmation. My emotional mastery reshapes who I am. Lesson 18. People feel your control before you act. Power communicates before words. Eye contact held without tension. Posture without stiffness. Silence without discomfort. These signals tell the nervous system of others. This person is not reactive. Machiavelli understood optics long before psychology named it. A ruler's composure was itself policy. Those who cannot provoke you cannot dominate you. Effective affirmation. My presence speaks before I do. Lesson 19. Emotional control makes you the final decider. Reactive people are always responding to someone else's move. Disciplined people decide when to engage, when to withdraw, when to remain silent. Machiavelli wrote that fortune favors those who prepare. Preparation is emotional neutrality under pressure. Once you control reaction, you control timing. And timing is power. Effective affirmation. I move on my terms. Lesson 20. Those who ignore this are destroyed quietly. History is unforgiving. Rulers lost empires over pride. Generals lost wars over anger. Leaders lost loyalty over emotional instability. Modern life is no different. Careers end from impulsive messages. Reputations collapse from emotional exposure. Relationships break from reactive words. Weak emotional control does not announce destruction. It whispers it until it is irreversible. Machiavelli's warning remains. Men are quick to believe what they wish to be true. And emotion feeds illusion. Effective affirmation. I choose discipline over illusion. Final summary. The laws you have learned. You learned that emotional leakage is self-sabotage. That anger makes you predictable. That reactions reveal weakness. That calm builds authority. That silence preserves power. That emotional discipline creates psychological gravity. This is not about becoming heartless. It is about becoming ungovernable. Final call to action. If this changed how you see your emotions, press like. If you are committed to mastering psychological power, subscribe. And comment below one word that describes the discipline you are building. Because the world does not reward those who feel deeply. It rewards those who control deeply. This was Machiavelli's warning. And now it is yours.